Good afternoon, everybody. This is the first of two videos that I'm going to shoot for the 1978 Subaru Brat that I'm going to put on for sale here on eBay. What I'd like to do is just take a couple walk-arounds. I'll do one, just do a walk-around of the car, kind of show you everything, good and bad. And then the second video, I'll do a little video. We'll take a little drive in it. And I know it's not like actually driving it, but unfortunately that's one of the things you kind of got to deal with when you're potentially buying cars long distance, so I completely understand. I bought 9 or 10 of them cross-country myself. And I know that I always want to know as much as I can about the car prior to purchasing it. So with that said, we'll just go ahead and take a walk around. I'll do a little talking during the process. I apologize if we hear an airplane. I am on an Air Force base, so that's probably what you hear in the background. I did restore this car. I bought it in Denver about 3 years ago. I actually spent about 2 years restoring it. And, I mean, it isn't a perfect restoration. It wasn't a rotisserie type deal or anything like that. But I did put quite a bit of work into it. Like I said, I spent 2 years restoring it and about 6 months getting it through inspection. So I did go with a hot rod flat black paint job. I did have a very talented high school student paint it for me. He did a pretty good job. It's not perfect, but he did a pretty good job. Definitely much better than most of the Brats you see out there. As you can see, I did buy these seats. I purchased these seats because I actually didn't fit in this car, and I'm only 5'10", so I bought kind of a bucket racing style seat that matched the exterior theme with the black and silver. I also went with some harnesses because I couldn't reuse the brown the brown seatbelt, excuse me. It didn't look right with the black and gray or black and silver interior, so I went with some 4-way harnesses. The seats are brand new. I've really only driven this car a couple hundred miles since it's been done. My family and I are moving to Texas here shortly, and just found out that the government is not going to move it for me. So I kind of was getting interested in buying a new project anyway, so I'm thinking it's about time to let her go. But do a little walk around here. I bought these decals from a vendor up in Oregon. I can't remember his name. I do have the receipt and the purchase. As you can see, it still has the original Subaru emblem on the back there. This bumper I bought, it is new old stock. I found it on eBay. It was sitting on a shelf for 30 years. It is an original OEM 78 Brat bumper, and it is impeccable. It is literally brand new. I was pretty pleased to find that. But I did get rid of the sticker emblems that were on both sides of the trunk. I didn't like them. I thought it kind of cluttered up the outside, so I got rid of them. The seats, if you'll notice in the back, they're in pretty good shape. One of them is missing a handle, so what I did is I kind of moved them together to kind of make it appear that the center handle is being shared. It's the best I could do until I find another seat. The headrests are in great shape. Everything looks good. The bed's in great shape. I did just wash it, so it's a little wet. But, yeah, everything looks pretty good. The chrome piece back here, all of this I had to reuse. This tailgate piece isn't in great shape. It's presentable, but it's not awesome. The side pieces going all the way up, however, are in excellent shape. As is pretty much the rest of the car. I'm definitely pretty pleased with it. It's, for what it is, I haven't seen a nicer one. Not that you see all that many of them, but I haven't seen a nicer one. I haven't seen only maybe one that sold on eBay in the last 3 or 4 years that was nicer. But this brush guard I picked up off a Brat that I found in a junkyard. It was extremely rusted. I did have it professionally sandblasted, and I wasn't sure if I should trust paint on something that was rusted so bad before, so I did have it powder coated. Chrome, it is not quite chrome, but it's pretty close, especially considering it's not chrome, it's powder coat. But the powder coater did a really good job. Again, front emblem's in great shape. I did remove the 4-wheel drive emblem that was on the front. Again, I thought it kind of cluttered up the front, so I got rid of it. Let's see, tires are all in great shape. Wheels, I did just use typical silver wheel paint on them. They could probably use a fresh coat, but they look okay. They are, however, in perfect shape. They're not curbed or dented or anything like that. Tires are about 50% or so. I bought these mirrors online. They work fine. I like the way they look, but the rubber here kind of split apart, and it happened in almost no time at all. I'm not sure why, but I'd probably want to replace those, though. I'm not too happy with those mirrors. And it did do it on both sides. But one of the things that I explained in the description was the paint. The kid that I had paint this car did a real good job. He painted it in his paint booth at his high school. He's studying to be a paint and body guy or whatever. Did a good job. Hand sanded the whole thing. Spent several days doing it, and he did a really good job with the paint. If you notice, there's no orange peel or anything like that in the paint. However, what he did do, let me see if I can try and catch it here. It's not real noticeable, but if you go down on the side, you can kind of see, gosh, it's hard to even pick it up, but along this line right here was some pinstriping, and when I sanded it, I had to sand out the pinstriping. And when I finished the body work, I had this thing straight as an arrow, and but I used filler primer to kind of smooth out just where the pinstriping was, and he kind of sanded away my pinstriping, so you can kind of see it a little bit. It's not awful, but it is there, and I just want to make sure that I disclose everything. Let me see if I can get it from the back on the other side. Let me see if I can catch it from this side. There are a couple of dings on, there we go. You can kind of see where the door meets up. There's a couple of dings on this side. It never fails. Somebody always swings a door into you right after you get a car painted. But if you look along the side, if the light hits it just right, you can kind of see a little rippleness where I sanded off the pinstriping. It's not rust spots. It's not dents. It's literally where the paint was sanded down a little thick there. I wanted to disclose it. Oh, yeah, and somebody hit me with a shopping cart right there. It's not awful, but figures. Nobody left a note. That's how it works, isn't it? But other than that, the body's actually in really good shape. I mean, a couple of very, very minor dings. The paint's practically new, so there's actually no rock chips or anything on the front. The interior, see if I can get a better shot of the interior here. Here, I'll just hop in. Interior is okay. Everything's here. I'll show you when I start it up. Everything does work. All the lights, signals, indicators, everything works. Absolutely. Including the heater and defrost controls. They all work. It does not have a stereo in it. However, apparently it did at one time, and the wiring is there, so I just left it. But I did have the dashboard off, and the one blown speaker that was in the dashboard, I went ahead and removed it. So it doesn't have any speakers in it either. That's something you can do in the future, I suppose, if you want to. One of the things I also mentioned in my description was the dashboard. I attempted to recover it in vinyl, and if you look at it from this angle, it doesn't look too bad because I put this cover on it. But if you lift it up, it's pretty lumpy. It does not look real good at all. I'm not too proud of this at all, but it is what it is. I definitely want you to know about it. And I think that's about it for right now. I'll go ahead and stop right here and come back in just a few minutes, and we'll go ahead and start it up. I'll show you the engine, and we'll take it out for a little drive. Thanks for watching.